So today I want to tell you a story. This is my story of how I was turned into a shitty speaker. Or I became a shitty speaker despite having immense potential. So first of all, isn't that narcissistic? Isn't that statement narcissistic? That how do I know that I had immense potential? Well, very simple. I was just watching an old speech of mine, and well, I was able to really relate to it, which is not usually the case. And I was able to see how despite its roughness and sort of inexperience, the speech would have an impact on the audience that it is trying to target. But okay, so if one of my old speeches did have the potential to have the right impact on the audience, then I'm a good speaker. So why do I say that I was turned into a shitty speaker? Well, because of whatever makes that speech great or good or whatever is the thoughtfulness that's put into to sort of creating that content, to giving it the structure, is the thoughtfulness that starts this speech with how can I use this as an opportunity to change minds. Now that thoughtfulness I attribute to myself, but in that entire speech I was nervous and I was shouty. So it looked like I have a few good pointers, but at the same time I'm shouting, I'm nervous, and I'm not confident, I'm not calm, I'm not talking to the audience, I'm shouting. So what that did is, if I'm listening to what is actually being said, the content, then it has a high impact. But the voice modulation, and the overall feel of it doesn't feel like it's an expert I can trust, and it's an expert who definitely seems to know what he's talking about. So what's the point? The point is, when you are shouty, it comes across as this is some newbie, is maybe new at this, who doesn't know what he's doing, and maybe he's got some good pointers, but then you evaluate this person on his logical, on the sort of logical parameter of what he's saying. So if what he's saying logically makes sense, you sort of kind of agree with it. But because the tone of it seems desperate and sort of like a noob, so this guy doesn't come across as an expert, doesn't come across as somebody who really feels about what he's talking about, and who can ignite that same feeling in you. And to be honest, what I've observed is the greatest of speakers, what they do is not convince you with logic, because there is only so far that logic can go. But instead what they do is, first and foremost, they provoke an emotion, they evoke an emotion that you feel because of them, and that emotion is what dictates. It's like the undercurrent that dictates the whole speech. And then after that emotion is present, you're not evaluating the speech on its logical merits. In fact, that evaluation sort of system, that evaluates everything is turned off, and you're just taking in without evaluating. You're really listening, which is really important. You cannot change minds when what they're trying to do is trying to evaluate if you are sense or nonsense, because, well, they will not have that feeling that is needed to sort of move them emotionally, to make them think, wow, I really need to think about this. I really need to put in more effort into thinking about this topic or something like that. Instead, what they do is, yeah, he had some logical points. I think yeah, it could maybe make a difference, but, well, I'm not in a position to help, so maybe when it is a little more convenient for me to be able to do it. So if I give you a concrete example, when I'm shouty and people are evaluating me on logic, and I'm trying to convince with my speech that they should not be smoking or they should quit smoking, then at the end of the speech they'd go, yeah, well, he did have some points, but yeah, well, it's not like it's easy to quit smoking, plus I don't smoke in front of my family, so this doesn't apply to me, and so on and so forth. But if you evoke that emotion, then even if that situation does not apply to them, and it logically does not have the same merit in their specific case, what they feel is that emotion which hijacks their sort of evaluation system that tries to sort of disarm whatever you're saying, and instead what it does is it makes them feel, wow, that was something. I never imagined the impact that smoking could have on somebody else's life, and even though it doesn't happen with me, I definitely would not want that to happen with me either, so might as well take that action.